News everywhere.
This current situation happening at the school, the public needs to be informed about what's happening and what actions the police are taking on it.
Community members say that an incident of vandalism directed at the Two-Spirit LGBTQ+ community, a pride flag being ripped from a school here in Winnipeg, needs to be investigated by Winnipeg police as a hate crime. Queers on Gear's Winnipeg founder, Megan McKay, is an advocate for trans rights and trans safety. She says these types of acts need to be taken more seriously by police, as sometimes law enforcement is slow to release and act on anti-2SLGBTQ LGBTQ+ attacks. She pointed out while the WPS recently shared a solidarity post for the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia, they've yet to say anything or ask for the public's help on the recent incident of vandalism.
I think the public really needs to be more informed about what's happening with the situation. There's been a lot of anti-trans, anti-2-spirit, anti-LGBTQIA+ discrimination happening in the States and happening all over Canada, and this trend seems to be increasing and becoming more and more violent.
In a previous interview with City News, the school's principal detailed how the act of vandalism, which also saw books on Indigenous and Two-Spirit LGBTQ+ issues stolen, came with a note that contained hateful rhetoric towards the community members. The note now turned over to WPS. McKay says such rhetoric is extremely harmful, and there is already an International Transgender Day of Remembrance for those who have been lost as a result of anti-Two-Spirit LGBTQ+ hate and violence, saying the removal of the flag should be a priority for police as it was a targeted, hateful attack.
Our community has faced a lot of violence and hate, and this is definitely an outward act of that violence and hate.
Police said Thursday the incident is being looked at by a hate crimes coordinator, but did not respond to concerns. McKay now calling anyone with information about the incident to come forward to police.
This should be investigated as a hate crime. Somebody out there is starting to go from their bigoted beliefs, and they're going into the act of committing crimes on that bigoted belief, and now it's time to be investigated to make sure that this doesn't continue to escalate.
Barry Carlinzig with Pride Winnipeg, who is replacing the flag, says he's not surprised that the act of vandalism has not hit the WPS media releases, but he says he hopes that police take action to find and charge the person responsible, saying a muted response from the WPS sends a dangerous message.
The community doesn't feel safe. The community doesn't feel equitable when there are other issues in a similar nature that happen and they receive the top attention, top priority, but when something like this happens, it's not receiving the same. There's no equality across the board.
With rising instances of hate, he says now more than ever, members of the Two-Spirit LGBTQ+ community need to know they have the support of those sworn to protect them, saying a lack of action by police on these types of crimes causes very real harm.
As we get closer and closer to Pride season, these individuals are feeling less and less safe coming out to celebrate their authentic selves during Pride Month or being able to be their authentic self year-round.
In Winnipeg, Modjeski, City News.